Wealthiest men doubled their fortunes during the first 2 years of the pandemic as poverty and inequality soared.
According to a report by the charity Oxfam, the 5 richest people on the planet doubled their wealth between March 2020 and November 2023, from $405 billion to $869 billion. Oxfam calls for breaking corporate power. What's it going to be about today? What assets do the 5 richest have? What is the risk of the rise of concentrated wealth? What does the rise of monopolies look like in practice? What is the Oxfam's solution? What is the performance of the 5 societies compared to the world? Statistically, the world's wealth is heavily concentrated in the hands of a small percentage of the population.
So many people are finding their lives more vulnerable. They're worried about rising living costs, unemployment. But the global economy seems to be working really well for the richest.
According to reports on global inequalities such as those from Oxfam or the Credit Suisse Global Wealth Report, the richest 1% of the population hold a significant portion of the world's wealth. Oxfam put it as high as 43%. This concentration of finance includes publicly traded instruments such as stocks and bonds, along with stakes in private companies. What assets do the 5 richest have? Warren Buffett, an American investor and entrepreneur, has an estimated wealth of around $120 billion as of January 2024. Larry Ellison, founder of Oracle Corporation, has an estimated wealth of around $135 billion. Jeff Bezos, founder and former CEO of Amazon, with an estimated wealth of around $177 billion. Bernard Arnault, French businessman and chairman of LVMH Moët Hennessy Louis Vuitton Group, with an estimated fortune of around $182 billion. Finally, the richest man on the planet, Elon Musk, founder of Tesla and SpaceX, has an estimated fortune of around $230 billion. What is the risk of the rise of concentrated wealth? As I discussed in a recent video about Magnificent Seven, the world faces a threat in the form of a few monopoly companies that could literally take over the world. Monopoly power allows firms to control markets and set the terms, which can lead to a reduction in competition. This in turn can reduce innovation, product and services quality and ultimately harm consumers. Monopoly firms can use their market position to set high prices for products and services because consumers have no other alternatives. This can lead to excessive burdens on consumers. Monopoly power can allow firms to control wages and working conditions because employees have limited opportunities to switch to other employers. Monopoly firms have less incentive to innovate because they do not have to compete in the market. And this is not to mention the impact on political developments. Monopoly firms can have greater political influence and can influence government policies and decisions in their favor, which can be detrimental to the public interest. What does the rise of monopolies look like in practice? Globally, over 2 decades, there has been a merger of 60 pharmaceutical companies into just 10 huge global firms called Big Pharma. 2 international companies now own more than 40% of the global seed market. Big tech companies dominate the markets. 3/4 of global online advertising spending goes to Meta, Alphabet and Amazon, and more than 90% of global internet searches are conducted by Google. According to an Oxfam report, the monopolization of the world is also supported by investment funds. The so-called Big Three index fund managers, BlackRock, State Street and Vanguard, together are responsible for roughly $20 trillion in human assets, nearly a fifth of total assets under management. These 3 index fund managers are gaining influence over much of the world's wealth. This is leading to a concentration of financial power in the hands of a few key players, with potentially significant implications for financial markets and the investment environment. What is Oxfam's solution? Oxfam is an international NGO dedicated to fighting poverty and inequality. Its main objective is to promote social justice and improve conditions for those living in poverty.
Personas en el mundo viven la pobreza. 1 на всеки 3 души по света живее в бедност. Oxfam bertekad untuk mengubahnya.
Oxfam est déterminé à changer cette situation en mobilisant le pouvoir.
Dengan menggerakkan kekuatan manusia.
Oxfam was founded in 1942 in Oxford, UK, and is one of the largest international charities. It operates in over 90 countries and carries out projects focusing on education, healthcare, food security, human rights and the environment. Oxfam has called on governments to reduce the gap between the ultra-rich and the rest of society.
This is really about those at the very top, ensuring that they're paying far fairer taxes.
The organisers of the World Economic Forum insist the meeting does benefit everyone.
It proposes curbing corporate power, which includes breaking up monopolies, capping CEO pay, and imposing new taxes on wealth and excessive profits. The appeal stressed the need to regulate corporate structures and reward systems, including through measures that would limit corporate influence and introduce tax instruments that would hit excessive wealth and profits. This could create a balance in favor of society as a whole and reduce the inequality that currently characterizes the global economic environment. What is the performance of the 5 companies compared to the world? I compared the performance of the MSCI World Index measuring the entire world with the performance of the 5 companies of the 5 richest people. The MSCI World Index is the bold blue line around which you can see Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, Larry Ellison's Oracle, Jeff Bezos' Amazon, Bernard Arnault's Louis Vuitton, and the red line is the Tesla of the extravagant Elon Musk. The aforementioned 100% increase in total wealth of these gentlemen is illustrated by the graphic from 0% at the beginning of 2020 to nearly 100% at the end. The increase in Tesla's stock price contributed significantly to this, which is a separate video in itself. Thanks so much for watching to the end of the video. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great time and invest wisely.